going to record today. There's a lot of stuff going on today. But then tonight, as I was coming home, all of the stuff that was happening today just kind of came to a head. Not to a head, but just in my mind. And it became very emotional. So I was just recording this because of where I am right now. Just trying to understand where I am and why I am here. And like I said, my whole thing is seeking the Lord to try to understand why I'm here. Why I'm here and my queen is not. I don't really understand that. Because God didn't do it. He don't do cancer. He don't do emphysema. So I know it's not him that did it. But my prayers and my belief and the faith that I thought I had, I don't understand why she's not here. Because I look at it from my perspective. I'm starting this new year without my queen. I just went to dinner tonight. Went to PF Chang's and it was cool. You know, I'm eating by myself, took the picture, posted it on Facebook. You know, it was the first time I'd been there since the last time we were there, which has been a long time, almost 6-9 months or something. And I was just eating it, just trying to understand, you know, I'm here and it was okay. You know, it was cool. It was, you know, I'm the only single person sitting, you know, one person sitting at a table. And that didn't, you know, that was, you know, that don't, through my queen, I have learned to take my eyes off of people. But just processing what was going on. And I get in the car and I'm coming home. And I'm just trying to understand, you know, why. And as I'm driving home, it just got just a little bit more emotional. And then by the time I get home, you know, we always got the neighbor some chicken lettuce wraps. So I dropped them off over to her, and as I'm coming back home, then it really kind of came down that like I'm coming back home from dropping them off, and I'm normally coming in the house and checking on my wife, you know, my you know, my queen, man, getting her set up, getting her hooked up, you know, and I'm like, I don't understand. Because where I'm at right now, I don't, and I'm just asking the Lord this, I'm trying to process it, trying to understand. Like she paid the dues for me to be here in the sense yesterday. I mean, just through what the Lord did, through her heart, what she did just Friday. I'm sorry, yeah, the 31st, Tuesday. You know, just stuff that she had provided. You know, just you know that I was still able to, you know, honor her wishes. You know, and the Lord blessed us, you know, and blessed me to honor almost all of her wishes, and then even today, you know, just blessing me. And I'm like, wow, and I'm just trying to understand, like she paid the dues. So either now I'm either cursed to be by myself, or you know, maybe the Lord blessed me with someone else. And I prayed, actually, I prayed a couple of times, you know, if the Lord was going to bless me with another wife. Or am I cursed to be by myself? Because I have tasted love. I've had ladies that love me, and I just was not mature enough to receive it. But this 28-year journey, I mean, he just taught me, he showed me, man, love. He showed me like unconditional love, just, you know, that drew me to him. And we walked together with it, because as I'm saying it, I would be doing studies and watching different pastors and stuff on TV and their wives would be there. I'm like, man, I think, Lord, I hope one day my wife, will be with me, walking with me. And man, I see that, these different ones and they check with them and I'm like, Lord, man, and not knowing, like I wear these t-shirts all the time with my cargo shorts. My queen is next to me, not missing a beat. For years, I've been wearing these things, I don't know, we've been here 13 years. We're talking about 16 years I've been wearing t-shirts from when the Lord first put that in my heart. And my queen, man, she was right next to me the whole time, like did not miss a step. And I just didn't see it. And that's what I'm saying. I didn't see she was my wife. And then I had to learn how to love my wife. I saw it through my grandfather, the way he loved my grandmother. I saw it through my uncle, the way he loved his wife. But just like the young ladies I was speaking to yesterday, when I was young, the prostitutes, so the Lord was sowing that into me through you. You don't lie to your girlfriend, don't. But that came to this, to where by the time we got to here, even before, the relationship with me and my chick, it had to be straight. Wasn't no lies, wasn't no nothing. And that's what I'm saying. She paid the dues. When we first got married, I freaked, man. I completely freaked out. And man, it was like I put myself in a situation, and I put a hold to it. I'm sitting there and I'm looking at this chick and I'm looking at my ring. Right, we getting ready to do this, man. And I just stopped. I'm looking at her. I'm like, man, I ain't playing no games. I'm looking at my ring and I'm just sitting there, and I started just tearing up, man. And she's like, you thinking about your wife? And I'm like, man, baby, I just got married. And I'm like, man, I ain't playing no games with you. Like, I just got married. And I'm like, man, I'm sorry. I ain't playing no games. I can't do this. I gotta go. And this chick, she looked at me. She said, man, I hope that I marry a man like you. And I'm like, I hope you marry a man better than me. And I went home, and the next day, and I told my wife, and I told my pastor, man, Pastor Bus, he was so mad, man. He was livid. He was livid, man. So we do that to our wives. We do stuff, and then we confess it to them to get it off our chest to make us feel better. I'm like, no, man, no, because I can't. I refuse to go into a marriage with a lie. I refuse to do it, man. I refuse to do it. Man, I got on my hands and knees, man. She was so, man, I told her, we was actually going to this store. We was out getting ready shopping. It was a beautiful sunny day. She was happy, I was happy, and I told her in the car. And she looked at me, and we went through the store, we went through the store. And we come home, and man, I got on my hands and knees, and I begged her. I said, why? Why would you do that to me? I'm like, man, I freaked out. I got scared. It freaked me out. But I realized on this side of that, I want to be married to you. And man, it took me 3 days for her to, she cussed and hollered for 3 days, and it was a beautiful sound to hear her voice. I could just to hear her voice mean we were still together. And then okay, and then 3 days later, it's okay, this, that, and that. I'm like, man, whatever you say. And for 3 years, man, I did not have. I showed her my phone, the computer, email, man. I had no passwords. For 3 years, man, I was completely transparent with her to the point she's like, okay, I'll look. No. That for 3 years, man. I'm like, no. I'm gonna prove myself to you. And finally, 3 years later, it's like, okay, you know what? We good. We passed this. Let's just go. Just don't do this to me again, man. That's what I'm saying. She went through it. She went through it when I injured my back, when all the pain medicines I was on, all the stuff I was doing, it just, man, man, I took her through hell, man. I took her through. I brought hell to her. And she paid it, man. She paid the dues, man. She paid the dues. And I finally learned, the Lord was teaching me who she was, and I learned how to love her and how to receive her love. And finally I got it, and I finally, because my brother and Pastor Bus was telling me all the time, she is your ministry, because I'm learning the word. I'm just getting to it, man. I want to take this thing out there. Like, no, she is your ministry. That's your ministry right there. I'm like, no, I got that, but I want to take it out. No, and they, for 3 years, my brother was in one ear and Pastor Bus was in the other. I'm like, no, I hear you, man. No, you ain't hearing me. And 3 years later, man, it finally clicked. Like, wow, she is my ministry. And the Lord taught me who she was and how to love her. It took a long time. A long time. And I mean, man, and she was there the whole time. And then finally, the last 4 or 5 years, like I understood, I got it, man. I finally got it, who you are. And I mean, man, treated her as, my queen. A queen, my queen, just, and now, she should be here and healthy so that I could, all that I've learned, all that the Lord has taught me through our trials and tribulations, what I drug her through, now I finally got it. She should be here. She should be healthy, where I could love on her, where I could practice what I have learned, and she ain't here. And I thought, like, she went through all of it, and if he was to bless me with another wife, I'm like, you getting, like, I understand, like, I'm gonna love you with the love I learned through her. And today in the shower, I heard the Lord just as clear. I heard him just as clear today. It was all, like, I don't pray to my wife. I don't do that to her. Okay, she ain't God. I never put her up to God. I don't disrespect the Lord like that. I don't disrespect my queen like that. I didn't when she was here, and I for sure ain't gonna do it now. Like, I heard the Lord. It was like the Lord, like she told the Lord, and then the Lord told me. That's what it seemed like. Because I'm in the shower today, and I'm just thinking about it. Like she should be here. I want to love on her. I just want to love her, trying to understand it. And it was like I could hear her behind the Lord saying, okay, if the Lord bless you with a wife, you gotta love her like you would love me. You gotta treat her like the queen that the way you learned. The way you learned through me, you got to treat her like that. And I'm in the shower, and I'm like, what? Like, and so I don't know. I'm just trying to understand where I'm at. I'm trying to understand why she's not here. She paid the dues. She went through it. I drug her through it, man. I don't understand. I'm not understanding. And then, if I'm to spend the rest of my time by myself, the Lord taught me how to love, how to be a husband, how to be a godly husband and love her. And I'm like, now you taught me and I got it. And now she ain't here. So I'm gonna be by myself for the rest of my life. I'm like, I don't understand. I don't understand. I'm not under, because he blessed us. He blessed us. He gave me my wife. The first time I saw her, I was at work. Sally Hooten was driving the squad. He was backing up in this spot. She was sitting outside at St. Luke's Hospital. smoking a cigarette. Like 1:30 in the morning. And I saw a halo around her. And I'm like, man, you see the halo? I'm saluting. You see the halo around that chick? You see the halo? And he laughed and said, you crazy, man. And he turned and looked at me, and I'm like, man, I'm serious. You see a halo? And he's like, wait a minute, you serious? I'm like, yeah, man, do you see a halo? And he looked, man, I don't see nothing. I said, all right, man, look out the window. So I looked out my window. He looked out his window. We turned and looked back. There was this halo. I said, man, you see the halo? He said, man, shit, I don't see nothing. I'm like, he like, you serious? Like, you serious? You see a halo? I said, man, I see a halo around her right now. It ain't the lights. I'm looking right at her. He said, all right, man, I'll tell you what, I go in and get the supplies, and you talk to her, because we was going to supply up the squad. I mean, the Lord blessed me with her, and I just come out of 2 relationships over about a 3-year period with these 2 beautiful, beautiful black women that I'm done. I'm gonna just put my time into my kids, and that's it. I'm just because I had plenty of women that would help me on the weekend. They loved they loved my kids, loved them, and they wasn't trying to get at me, not that I know of. Ain't nobody. I mean, they just my kids, man. They just loved them. So I had plenty of help. So I'm gonna just be in my kids, and then I saw her, met her, talked to her, and my kids fell in love with her. She fell in love with them. I mean, the Lord gave me my wife. And when I used to work at Goodrich and wherever I worked at, I would always ask these guys, man, when you got married, when you met your wife, did you know she was gonna be your wife? And half of them said yeah, half said no. But I would always ask them, because I was deathly afraid of marriage, man. I was deathly afraid of marriage. Because of what I went through with my parents, that fighting, that physically fighting, that physical fighting. He taught me how to be a husband, a godly husband. And now she's here. And man, she loved me. Man, she loved, man, I never had love like that before. I mean, she knew what I want before I'd ask. I mean, it was like the Lord said, the man to leave his father, mother, and join his wife, and they become one. I mean, we were one, man. It was, oh man. And I'm like, I got all this love. I know what love is. I've seen it. I've seen love. I've felt love. I've known love. Man, it is, man, I'm talking about godly love. God, man, it is. It's hard to explain, man. It's godly love. I mean, a godly woman. I mean, that's got, love that it has to come from the Lord. A person can't love you like that. And now I give that to somebody else, but I learned it through her. Like she the one went through. Like I owe it. Like it's hers. You know what I mean? I owe that to her. I mean, I owe it to God, but the Lord used her. Not but, because the Lord used her to teach me that. She the one I drug her through the mud. I drug her to hell and back to finally get it. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. Because I think about that yesterday, man. You know, now you talking about, you know, I mean, I was, you know, my wife, I was 39, she was 47. I was her second man. I mean, you don't get no, you can only one way you can get better than that. And I mean, you know, you can find a 47-year-old virgin after you, surely you can, I guess. I mean, ain't nothing impossible with God. Nothing is impossible with God. But I mean, other than that, I mean, that was as best. I mean, that was as best as it ever had. That's, I mean, that, man. I mean, he gave me her. I don't understand. I'm just not I don't understand. why she's not here. I know how to love her now. I mean, I know, and I loved her. I tried to. I tried to make sure she knew that I loved her. I tried to make sure that she knew, to me, she was priceless. I tried to make sure that she knew that she was my beautiful blessing from the Lord. Literally, I tried very hard. I mean, I didn't try very hard. Loving her wasn't hard. It just, learning how to was hard because of where I come from. But I mean, even that, through, the life, the lifestyle I come, the bisexual, because of, the stuff happens to kids, you get to open up to homosexuality and you get in the bisexual thing. And I mean, she fought for me, man. She fought for me. She fought for me. She fought for me. And the Lord delivered me, through her. I mean, man, she paid the dues. She paid the dues. Lord bless me writing that book. Man, it went out. I mean, all of my friends, it's like you turn the light on, it was like roaches. Man, it was gone. And she was on my left. Man, my kids. But I mean, outside of my kids. She was strong, man, strong. And just, man, I mean, just, man, her love was just beautiful. Because the Lord taught us how to love the way He says love. I mean, it was, and I understand now, we learned it. I don't know why we not practicing it like daily. I mean, I want to continue presenting her to the world as my queen. Just, I mean, loving on her, man. I just want to love on her. And I don't know how, like, I know how now. I know who she is. I know she is my gift from the Lord. I know who she is now. And now she ain't here for me to tell the Lord thank you. To, loving her was my way of saying thank you to the Lord. How do you thank Him for it? How do you thank Him for His Son? How do I thank Him for my wife He gave me? How do you thank Him for the Holy Spirit? How do you thank Him for heavenly angels? You can't. There's nothing to thank Him. So that was the only way I knew to thank Him, is once He taught me how to be a godly husband. That was my way of saying thank you, is loving your daughter the way you taught me to. And now, like, I don't understand. I don't understand. So anyway, I'm just saying the same thing. Anyway, I just wanted to